Greetings, everyone. I'm excited to welcome Nayrhit, co-founder at Gushwork, to the show today. Nayrhit, or NB, welcome.
Hey, thank you so much, Ben. Thanks for the invite. Appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah, great having you on. So let's dive in. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, so I have been spending the last 7 years involved in different kind of tech roles myself and dabbled around with AI in a corporate setup at American Express, focused on the credit card world. And that's back in the days when AI was before it was a buzzword. Then spent a few years with a venture capital fund investing in seed to Series B companies. And after that, like spent a few years selling a conversational AI tools to call centers with a company called Prodigal. It was funded by Menlo and Axel. So that was my like broad journey over the last 7, 8 years. And recently, over the last 9 months, we've started to build this company called Gushwork, which is focused on and reimagining the world of outsourcing post GPT, post AI, and seeing what kind of value we can provide.
Okay, yeah, love that background. So it sounds like your background, this makes sense for what you're doing now. Experience, working in AI before AI was such a buzz term now, and then, call centers. So I can kind of see the transition here. So, yeah, tell us about Gushwork. What products and services does Gushwork offer?
Yeah, definitely. So the problem statement is very simple. Every business has a lot of recurring tasks, recurring workflows. And today, the only solution they typically have is either they try to hire a freelancer or an agency to do these workflows. And on the other hand, they try to sort of build these integration on either a Zapier or a Make. What we are trying to build is build a platform that's somewhere in the middle which uses both the best of humans as well as AI or SaaS tools available out there to accomplish a lot of these workflows. And the workflows we have started with are the workflows which traditionally a sales development rep would be doing, like LinkedIn outreach, lead scraping, lead generation, stuff like that. And we price by the task. So you're not, so imagine like getting an SDR and then working with a SaaS tool like Apollo or Zoom Info. So that gets a very expensive affair. So instead of that, you just give us the task, we on the back end use a freelancer plus Apollo to sort of get the thing done for the customer. So typically our customers are small and medium businesses for whom these software tools are fairly pricey. So instead of like getting into subscription, it's a task-based model. So they just give us these tasks and it sort of keeps repeating itself every few days. Let's say you run a campaign of leads or focused on fitness coaches. You want to focus a lead outreach campaign on, let's say, restaurant owners, something like that. So you can give us any recurring workflow. And today, actually, we launched a GPT powered bot that suggests and recommends the right workflows for your business. So it's almost like an AI consultant, which helps you grow your business.
I love it. So you're focused in the sales area, so that outbound motion that SDRs would traditionally do. So is that to prove out, say, figure out some product market fit, get some early traction, and then expand to other areas? Tell us a little bit about the current evolution of your product.
Yeah, so the product already exists. It's just not fully product led yet. So it's more a sales led motion right now, but we do have the product already ready. It integrates with Slack, WhatsApp. You can delegate the task and communicate with the freelancer or the gig worker in any of these platforms. And they also have an access to an interface, which is GPT powered. So they and integrated with a lot of tools. So they basically use these tools to accomplish these workflows as well in a very efficient manner. So instead of you going and hiring a VA full time or you trying to hire a full SDR full time, you come to us and you only pay for the workflow rather than paying a full time or full time fees. So that way you're sort of giving a very closed-ended task out rather than. So we are not actually early traction. We are at around 600K ARR and in past 8, 9 months. And today have launched a PLG motion for low ACV customers who need the support, but we can't help out everybody the same time.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. And then,
Yeah.
so you founded the company last year, this year?
Yeah, this year actually, January we incorporated and April we launched.
Okay, so January 2023 launched Gushwork. And then do you have a physical location? Or are you all remote?
We're all remote. We do have a physical office here in India and in Brooklyn as well. I don't know if you know the one of the first WeWorks there is where we are placed as well.
Okay, yeah, interesting. And so tell us, what's your current team size?
We have 5 founding team members, and the rest of it is mostly contract workers, like freelancers who work on the marketplace. But the core team is like 5 members.
Okay. Well, it makes sense that you'd have some contract workers or freelance workers
Obviously.
as part of the process and building here. And so you said current ARR about 600K in revenue or current ARR. And then tell us a little bit about how you're finding customers. You kind of have the sales SDR process and helping with that. Are you doing the same thing to find customers? Tell us how you're finding your customers.
A very good question. So we started a bit hacky. We started by targeting customers who are looking for help on Upwork and Fiverr, and we went to them and said that, hey, we actually applied for those jobs and got shortlisted and appeared in those interviews and said that, hey, we are like 10x cheaper. You should use a SaaS plus human tool rather than trying to hire and then trying to figure out the tool for them. And that now we are like gradually moving into SEO. But the most magical channel for me at least has been LinkedIn and Twitter, where I make one post every day, and it's genuinely trying to add value to to our users, to our relationships. And they tell their friends about it. They share those posts. They come from those and post, and they sort of sign up for a wait list. And we qualify if we think we can add value to them. If this is something tool that will be valuable, we would set up a discovery call with them and show them a demo.
Okay, so you started with a little growth hacking, responding to those gig postings, and then also trying a little bit of SEO, and then of course good old social media, trying to
Yeah.
get the word out through social media.
Yeah.
So tell us about the capital fundraising side. How much capital have you raised to date?
So we raised about $2 million from Lightspeed, B Capital, and B Next, and we plan to kick off the next round of fundraise somewhere early next year or so. Our target is to hit 1.5 million to 2 million ARR within the first 12 months, which is by December. So let's see how far we get close to our target, and after that, maybe we'll kick off the fundraise process.
Okay, that's great. And then tell us about, and it looks like that the 2 million was categorized as a pre-seed, but tell us about your fundraising journey here. When you raised that capital, did you have an MVP? Did you have a product, or was it just a concept at that time?
It was actually a concept that pretty far from what we are building right now. Right? So it was a hypothesis. The hypothesis remains pretty constant, the long-term vision, but a lot of near-term details have been iterated a lot to understand what's the right positioning, what's the right model, pricing model, etc. And we're still iterating through that. I mean, and we're trying out different things, different GTM hacks, etc. As I said, we launched a GPT bot today, which we think will be very valuable to business owners, because today they have to go to an agency to get these kinds of actionable workflows and or get even ideas of these workflows. So we want to put them in the same place and see if they can get access to all of these workflows and put them into action. Like if you wanted to, let's say, reach out to 20 prospects every day, and how would you do it? Like today, you might do it yourself, or you would try to delegate it to somebody on your team, but whose job is not actually that. So that's what we're trying to achieve right now. PhD.
And I'm curious, from the first concept of what you thought the product would be to today, have there been any pivots or small pivots? Are you still executing on that initial product vision?
So the product vision remains constant. The vision was that a lot of customers need help with low cognition activities in their business. And the only way to do it is either fully try to automate it. So you would need to spend a day on HubSpot or Zapier trying to automate some parts of it. Or you go to Upwork or Fiverr and try to hire a freelancer or a services agency to get that thing done. And we wanted to actually use the human cognition with the efficiency of tools to achieve optimizations in these workflows to the extent possible. And that remains true to as well. But whether we focus on sales, there are so many low cognition tasks. You can become an offshoring agency almost. You could go to start a hiring marketplace, whether the SaaS angle is better. Those things were the ones which we iterated through to understand, hey, what's the best way to appeal to the segment and make something that is actually valuable and more plug and play for them.
And for the founders listening right now who are thinking about, say, a pre-seed round or who have just a concept, any lessons learned or lessons that you could share for those other founders who are in that same stage where they've got an idea, they've got a concept, and they want to raise to now start building the product?
Yeah, good question. I think it all at the end of the day boils down to the GTM. Like even for OpenAI, I think ChatGPT is a great GTM hack for its API product. Even for Google, I think their search engine is a great GTM product for their ad pipeline, ad product. And so is Gmail, right? It's actually a GTM product it's GTM free product for their which feeds their ad pipeline. So I think distribution first, product can follow. You obviously need to have a delightful, valuable MVP of a product, but everybody can build a product. And once you show the world it exists, everybody will actually build it as well. And that's a great thing because you are chasing a market that's deep where multiple players think there is a gold pot available. So I think the only way to differentiate yourself is by being super innovative. And some of the workflows we are also thinking about we are actually going to publish on our product itself so that more founders get access to it. But being like super innovative with go-to-market strategies, and it could be in building a product of its own just to get distribution. It are the things that you should be spending most of your time on, and capital will follow. Users don't follow if capital comes, but capital will always follow good users and good revenue numbers.
I appreciate that insight. And the current stage of your business, do you have a favorite number or metric that you're focused on to manage the business?
Yeah, I think barring the usual financial metrics of ARR, EBITDA, and gross margins and CAC, the two metrics we focus a lot on is LTV to CAC for sure. And the second one is number of tasks delegated, which we have translated to number of hours saved. So every task is mapped to a certain number of hours, which would typically take someone like you, Ben, you're a founder, you are running your own business. If you did that task, it would take you, let's say, 3 hours. So that those three saved hours is what is our core KPI. So number of tasks delegated or the number of hours it corresponds to is our KPI. And the usual financial metrics like LTV to CAC, net revenue retention, etc., are the ones we monitor very closely.
Yeah, and I love that. Usually you write the financial metrics plus some sort of operational metric in the application to see, product usage, so yeah, it makes a ton of sense. So
Yeah.
NB, really appreciate your time today and sharing your experience. And tell us what's coming up next for Gushwork.
Awesome. No, I think we are going to go 10 feet deeper into sales and make the process real time. So you don't need to like find and post a job on LinkedIn and look for like hundreds of people, go through hundreds of resumes. You come on a platform within 24 hours, you are already executing your task. But want to start an outbound campaign, reaching out to founders like me, Ben, you can literally get started tomorrow. And it's super cheap as well compared to hiring somebody full-time or part-time. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, if you can avoid the job posting process and just dive right into it. Because yeah, it was a cold email out from me to you to say, hey, do you want to come on the podcast? So I
Yeah.
think, yeah, that would be pretty amazing to avoid that whole posting process and all that upfront work. So MB, really appreciate your time today. Love what you're doing. If listeners would like to learn more about Gushwork, where should we send them online?
Yeah, you can actually either log into our pod, which is on our page, gushwork.ai, or you can reach out to me on nb@gushwork.ai.
Perfect. So go to Gushwork. So it's GUSHWORK.ai to learn more or reach out to NB for any questions. So NB, really appreciate your time today and sharing your experience.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ben. Appreciate your time. Thank you. Thank you so much.